Welcome to our show,
Healing Now. Healing Now is a holistic lifestyle show to educate, empower, and inspire conscious living.
Hosted by Sunita Sharma, physical therapist and holistic health coach,
and Liz Sant, holistic RN, toxin-free living expert, and green beauty advocate.
Join us each week as we share all things related to health and wellness, living green, and holistic lifestyle topics.
We can't wait for you to join us on our journey to better health.
Show, Healing Now. Thank you so much for all of your support last week. We had tremendous support and encouragement and comments, and we're just so happy that we're making it to episode number 2. So hopefully last week you guys got some good tips, and we're going to continue the conversation today. We've got an exciting show planned for you. Just to reintroduce myself, my name is Sunita Sharma. I'm a physical therapist here in Delray Beach. I work for Action Physical Therapy. We've got about 20 locations all throughout South Florida, from Port St. Lucie down to Miami. And we basically specialize in general outpatient physical therapy, and we also have some chiropractic services as well. And basically, I'm also a holistic health coach. I've had my own personal journey with some health issues. I'm a breast cancer survivor, so I joined up with Liz to educate myself, educate others on healthier, toxin-free living. So, Liz, you want to reintroduce yourself and talk about our show?
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us again, and thank you again to the Brooklyn Cafe TV for making this possible for us. This is our second show, and we'll be doing this every Tuesday from 11 to 12. My name is Liz Sant. I am a registered nurse. I'm a holistic nurse. I've been a nurse for 16 years and recently left the hospital setting about a year ago to focus on my business, which is educating women about toxins in specifically cosmetics and how the lack of regulation in the industry in our country can really be a detriment to our health if we don't know what's in our products that we're putting on our skin. Our skin is the largest organ, and it absorbs everything we put on it within 26 seconds. And it's really not something a lot of people think about. They think what's on the shelves is safe, and it's really not. So the United States bans about 11 ingredients, and the European Union prohibits over 1,300. So we really have to be aware and educate ourselves and empower ourselves to take care of us and our children. I started my toxin-free living journey about 10 years ago when my oldest son was 4, and just started hearing things that made me start questioning what I was feeding him and putting on his skin. And Sunita and I are both partnered with a local toxin-free cosmetics company with a health mission.
Yes.
And we have this beautiful makeup that is our platform for educating women, which led us to meeting each other, and which led us here.
Right. So we always say it's more than makeup. It's
so much more than makeup.
It's education and inspiration and aligning yourself with like-minded people, and it's been a great experience so far. So we've got a really exciting show today. We're going to continue with our jam segment. We're going to talk about some healthy after-school snack ideas. We're still continuing with our back-to-school tips. And we also have a special guest from the law firm of Wolf and Pravado, John Jarich, and he is here to help discuss rideshare safety and Ubering and some general back-to-school safety tips. So we're excited to have him after we do our first segment. And I think Liz wants to announce we did have a winner for our contest.
Yes, we had a generous donation from the Virtual Stylists, and we are giving away another session this week for a complimentary complimentary session with a virtual stylist. And our winner from last week was Lauren Starr. So congratulations, Lauren. I'm going to be contacting you to give you the code you can use to sign up for your free session. I did a session and it was absolutely amazing. The stylist will ask some information about you and your tastes and provide links to different stores where you can shop. They don't actually provide the clothing, just the service, which is nice because there's a wide variety of price ranges and styles. So it was super fun.
That's great. So when you have that question, does this make my butt look bigger? She'll tell you the truth.
Yes,
and let you know what looks good and what fits your body shape and things like that.
Yes, and I revealed to her a couple of concerns that I've had, and she immediately was very supportive and, just reiterated that we're all beautiful and we're all human, and she really gave me some really amazing tips.
And you may want to just venture out and wear something different that you may not, get out of your comfort zone, and once you wear it, you feel different.
She provided some information on some pieces that definitely would take me out of my comfort zone, and also some classic pieces that she said every woman should have in their closet and different ways to wear them. So that was really nice.
Well, Lauren, I hope you're watching, and if you are, please comment below. We love all the interaction with our viewers and hope that we have some more giveaways soon. And so please be sure to leave your comments.
Yes,
and
show us some love.
Yes, please do. So we're going to go to commercial break now, and then when we come back, we'll get started with our jam segment, which is basically juicing, affirmations, and moving. So we look forward to seeing you in a few minutes. Please support our sponsors. Thank you.
See you in a few minutes.
Welcome to our show,
Healing Now. Healing Now is a holistic lifestyle show to educate, empower, and inspire conscious living.
Hosted by Sunita Sharma, physical therapist and holistic health coach,
and Liz Sant, holistic RN, toxin-free living expert, and green beauty advocate.
Join us each week as we share all things related to health and wellness, living green, and holistic lifestyle topics.
We can't wait for you to join us on our journey to better health. I am Crunchy because knowledge is power. Crunchy is a revolutionary line of safe and high-performing toxin-free cosmetics that are redefining beauty. You no longer have to sacrifice your health for your beauty or your beauty for your health. Be conscious about what are in your cosmetics and how they affect your body. Contact me at 703-509-2592 or explore at crunchywithanI.com/Liz Sant, LIZSANDT. Again, it's 703-509-2592.
The human body, so powerful, but yet so fragile. When an automotive accident happens, your body is exposed to many injuries that can stop you from living your life. Assessing and documenting these injuries are the first steps to recovery, and only a healthcare provider can offer you that. So after your auto injury, always remember that every detail counts, and making the first step is now easier than ever. Call Action Physical Therapy and find out for yourself how reporting and treating your injuries first can change your life forever. You have rights and you have benefits, even if it was your fault, even if you didn't have insurance. Action Physical Therapy will help you no matter what. So if you are in pain due to an accident, don't wait. Take action. Call Action Physical Therapy today at 561-791-9090. That's 561-791-9090. Or visit us at www.actionphysical.com.
Green light means go, so let's get back to the show, Healing Now.
All right, welcome back, and thank you for tuning in to Healing Now. We are going to get started with our jam segment, And so JAM basically is my little acronym for juicing, affirmations, and movement. So that is what helped me in my personal journey when I was going through breast cancer, and to just basically get my day started right with, some nutrients, some positive mantras and affirmations and thoughts, and then, just some basic exercises. Obviously, a lot of us, we have children and we're on the go, and there's, hard to carve out a full hour or 30 minutes for exercise. So I try to do, maybe 10, 15 minutes here, there, in between, and, basically that kind of adds up. So, obviously cardiovascular exercise, you want to do a 20 to 30 minute stint, but certainly some strengthening exercises you can strengthening and stretching you can incorporate in your daily routine. So the first thing we're going to start with is the juice of the day. So today we're going to do a berry medley. So we've got some strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. It's just a frozen berry medley bag that actually got at Aldi, and I just keep it in the freezer. So I kind of mix it up between fresh and frozen. Just depends on the time and the how the week's going, et cetera, et cetera. So this is packed with lots of antioxidants with all the berries, and then we're going to add a little just chunk of ginger. I like to add ginger to everything. It basically helps with digestion. If you're feeling nauseous, coming down with something, it is a great additive. And these are just some basic juices, because everyone thinks it's very complicated to juice and to make this and make that. I just keep it simple with 2 or 3 ingredients and change it, because you do get bored of the same thing. Last week we did the kale, apple, ginger. Today we're just mixing up the greens with spinach.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be complicated. And these are, you can throw these in a little container and take it to go to work. And I do like using the frozen berries too, because it makes it nice and cold.
Right, so that especially on these hot, endless summer days, you want something a little refreshing and cool. So it's, you can use your imagination and pretend there's a little extra additive in it, but it's a virgin juice, but it's very, it's very good. And I notice, when I'm on my regular juicing routine, my skin looks better, I feel better, and you will notice the difference. I had a friend who just started juicing, and she said, all of a sudden I felt, my sinuses clear up a little bit, and she goes, would it be that immediate? I said, of course. I said, it's like a car. You put in the fuel that it needs, it's going to go faster, it's going to go longer, et cetera, et cetera. I always like to use the car analogies, but it makes it simple, because people, it's funny that we question a simple juice versus a pill that you have no idea what's in that pill and what chemicals and, all the research that went into it. But, food is, Hippocrates said, food is thy medicine.
Food is thy medicine.
So I certainly would want to, like I said, drink this versus, some of the other alternatives that are out there.
Yeah, I would like to just mention something about ginger, because a lot of people, when they're not feeling well, if they're nauseated, for instance, or have like a GI virus, they'll reach for the ginger ale. And the ginger ale that can be purchased at the grocery store or at the gas station is not real ginger most of the time. If you want a real ginger beer or ginger ale, you can make it yourself with real ginger, or just a ginger tea. Sometimes I'll do like a hot water and just throw some ginger in there and some honey. Or look at the labels, because you want to make sure it actually has real ginger and it's not a flavoring, and it's not full of high fructose corn syrup and other additives.
And it has tons of sugar, like 30 grams of sugar in one can. Yeah, and ginger ale ginger doesn't have sugar, so it's all the additives that they add.
Yes, and it just blew my mind when I was working in the hospital for so long, how we would offer cans of Seagram's ginger ale to everyone, and it was just full of artificial ingredients that weren't going to be helpful at all in the long run. So just beware of that. I always like to mention that when I see ginger, because people just run out and buy the easiest thing usually if they're not feeling well. So it's nice to keep it on hand.
Exactly. And I think the goal that we have here at Healing Now is just to kind of open your eyes to start looking at labels. Look at labels. I think people now are looking at labels of food, but look at labels of your skincare products, your makeup, your shampoo, your, body wash and soap, et cetera, et cetera. And if it has, more than, let's say, 3 things in it, most likely it's chemicals, it's, preservatives, it's sugar, it's this, it's that, it's all these extra things that, our bodies really aren't supposed to be ingesting.
And marketing is tricky. There are so many ways that companies get around using these horrible ingredients because they can put all natural on the bottle or a pretty leaf, or if something says no parabens or BPA free, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's safe with the other ingredients that's used. So we really have to watch the tricky marketing strategies. I fell for a lot of them for a very long time, but I'm familiar with ingredients now that are really common and inexpensive for companies to use, and that's just what we have to do as consumers. We have to become educated about that. So.
Right, and I think, to this day, I really don't know what a paraben is. I just know it's bad, and I don't know what oxybenzone is, but I know it's not good in sunscreen. And so we're starting to hear these ingredients, but there's, like you said, 1,300 more that aren't good that we don't realize, and it's not a catchphrase. And so that's kind of the goal of our show, and we hope that people just open their eyes and realize that everything we eat, everything we drink, everything we put on our body, it's going to affect our health. So and that's where, the holistic, the term holistic comes into play, where you're basically, looking at the whole picture. So
physically, spiritually, mentally, everything works together. So
exactly. So we'll have little tidbits and segments on looking at the big picture and looking at things through exercise and your emotional self, and as you can see on our opening, we just want to connect the dots between your physical self, your emotional self, and your spiritual self as well, because that's just as important, because we're all spiritual beings, and we need to cultivate and foster that part of ourselves as well. So I'm gonna get the juice going, and then Liz did bring her kombucha from last week that she made, so maybe we'll pour some of that.
It's blueberry kiwi kombucha. So if you missed our episode last week, you can go back and watch, and I explained what exactly kombucha is. I brought the SCOBY in, which is the symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast that ferments the tea. So I fermented the tea with that SCOBY for 5 days on my counter, and then I put it in this jar with some fruit to do what's called a second ferment, and to just give it some flavor. It can be kind of just bitter on its own, and it has kind of a vinegary taste. So homemade kombucha is different than what you purchase in the store, because in the store it's filtered and it's ultra carbonated. So homemade kombucha is actually a lot healthier. Also, it is very low in residual sugar. A lot of the kombuchas sold in the store have a lot of sugar in them that's added after the process. So you have to watch that as well. But it's a good way to kind of get a taste of what it tastes like. And there's also some kombucha bars locally here to South Florida. I'm sure they're popping up all over the country. You might just search for one in your area if you're not in local to South Florida, and they'll let you do a taste testing. So that was fun. I went to a kombucha brewery off of Alternate A1A in North Palm Beach, and they offered me a tasting. They have some delicious flavors. So
I think we'll have to go there after.
Yeah, we should. And it has a lot of health benefits. It's full of probiotics, and eating fermented foods is actually much better than taking a probiotic. we'll get into that in another episode, because there's really a lack of regulation in the supplements industry as well. But that's definitely a whole entire episode. So just eating sauerkraut that's homemade is better as well. It has more probiotics. Or like in the refrigerated section at the store, or kimchi is another good source of probiotics.
Kefir is a good one as well. So yeah, I think a lot of people get caught up in the vicious cycle of antibiotics. They get sick, they go to the doctor, they get an antibiotic, and then they get a host of other side effects, from the antibiotics. And then, then they think, okay, I've got this, that, or the other. But it's really comes down to you depleted not only the bad bacteria and, whatever infection may or may not have been going on. It could have been viral, which the antibiotic would not help.
Exactly.
But it's just a Band-Aid that we all, or, a lot of people throw on at the first sign of a cold or, flu symptoms. And so then you're depleting not only the bad, if it was there, but the good. And you may get some GI issues. You may get some other female issues. So there's a lot of, repercussions to using the antibiotics. So it's always good to, if you are going to take the antibiotics, to supplement with kombucha and the fermented foods that Liz had mentioned.
I actually worked for a doctor who, every time he prescribed antibiotics to a patient, would tell them to eat at least 1 yogurt a day.
Okay. So so he obviously knows the benefit of gut health and, but I don't think there's a lot of them that do that.
A lot of people aren't aware that our gut is our second brain. Most of our serotonin is produced in our gut, and we need to feed it the good bacteria to have all of these chemical reactions taking place the way they're supposed to. And also our immune system really is regulated by our gut. So it's very important to avoid toxins,
Right.
avoid stress, and eat good fermented food or take a high quality probiotic.
Absolutely. So I think we'll now move on. So that's pretty good with the juice. So now we're going to get to the A and the affirmations. So Liz is going to go over some affirmations, and we brought our special I Am cup today. Maybe you can drink some of your kombucha in there, or and then you can go over some affirmations.
Yeah, you want some?
Yeah, I do actually.
So we like to say affirmations on a daily basis, and basically it's using the law of attraction to feel how you want to feel. So some affirmations that we thought were good for children going back to school, for parents who are stressed out about the whole back to school process. I am calm. I am healthy. I am smart. I am stress-free, and I am focused. So those are some good affirmations to do on a daily basis. You like it?
Very good.
Can you taste the blueberry?
I can taste the blueberry and the kiwi, and I think there's a little. Did you put cinnamon in it also?
No, I didn't.
No.
Nope.
So it tastes like has a little cinnamon in it, and and cinnamon obviously is a very good spice that will help lower blood sugar. So you can use cinnamon as a substitute in your coffee or your tea or your kombucha to help lower blood sugar. But I'm sure you've tasted it because you've been making it, but it's really good.
I'm glad you like it.
But yeah, it's very good, and I love this I Am cup, and it's got a lot of other affirmations on the back. It says I am happy, I am fearless, I am positive. So in the morning when you're grouchy and you're tired and your kids are, bothering you a little bit, this is a great way to kind of get a little pep in your step and change the dialogue, the inner dialogue, which is what's important.
You know what I've been wanting to do is get a marker for the mirror, so I can write affirmations for my children on their mirror in the bathroom, so they can look at them while they're brushing their teeth and getting ready for the day. And just, it's important to start your day not only with a healthy breakfast or a beverage, such as a juice, but also a healthy mindset.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, someone that recommended that, and there's a really good book by Louise Hay, which I mentioned her last week, is she's basically the queen of affirmations, and she calls it mirror work. And she actually calls it mirror work, where you speak to yourself in the mirror and you say these affirmations, and it's about loving yourself, accepting yourself, creating the mindset that you want for the day. And so mirror work is absolutely
really
a great thing. And right now, because she did pass away about a year ago, they are doing some free downloads on hayhouse.com to honor her legacy. And she's got tons and tons of books. And again, that's going back to when I had my health issue. It helped me tremendously. And I could honestly say it probably saved my life, because you've got to change that mindset when you are going through something like cancer or, a debilitating disease. And, your mind is the most powerful organ. And so obviously you want to think the most positive thoughts to get better.
Hi, Megan. Megan's watching. She says hi.
Oh, hi, Megan.
She's
How are
on
you?
our monitor.
Oh, okay. Thank you for watching, Megan. Hopefully we're helping you with some good tips today. So those are the affirmations, and I think we'll move on to some exercise, and then after that we'll go to a commercial break, and we're going to have our special guest here today. So I'm going to just show you some basic exercises here. Again, very simple things you could do at your desk. This is what's called a Pilates ring. I don't know if you can see it. Really nowadays you can order anything on Amazon or Amazon. Yeah, just type it in Google and it'll show you all the places you can buy it. But this is basically called a Pilates ring. So what we're going to do is what's called isometric exercises. So I don't know if you can see, I'll move over a little bit. And you're just going to keep your elbows down by your side, and you're just going to squeeze the ring 5 seconds, and you'll do it about 10 to 15 to 20 times. Really, you want to do it until you feel tired, the muscle is fatigued. So this helps with your rotator cuff muscles. A lot of people, as we get older, we get the rounded shoulders, we get hunchback, our neck is forward. So posture is very important in preventing neck problems, back problems, pain in your shoulders. Because if the shoulders are coming forward, I always tell people it's like having a car with bad alignment. All the tendons are going to rub against the bones. So this is a really good exercise isometrically, where you're just kind of contracting the muscle to try to set the muscles in the place that it should be. So we can do that pushing in, and then we can also do that, and it also helps with that area we all love, which is the armpit, bra area, which to tighten and tone that up. So
that's a great exercise.
Yeah, so this is just take a break during the day at your desk or wherever you are, and just do a couple of these, and you will see a difference in the tone near your shoulders. Then the other thing you're going to do is you're going to put your arms on the inside, and you're going to do the same exact thing, just pushing out. So again, we call these isometrics because you're not really moving, but you're just flexing. So you're just contracting the muscle, getting the blood flow in there, getting your posture, where it should be. So again, 15 to 20, couple different sets, and that will help with the back part of your shoulder. So that lovely little bulge, that we all have here. Well, not all of us, but some of us. And so that helps with the muscles in the back part of the shoulder and the rotator cuff. So 2 simple things, in and out, and then you can also do just keeping your arms straight and pushing together like this. And so I'm sure back in the day we remember I must increase my bust exercise. Well, this helps tone your pecs and that area as well. And men can do the same exercise, because men do the same things we do, carrying, lifting, all the things that we do forward, we want to get our shoulders back. So this Pilates ring helps. So just toss this in your car when you're at a red light. Again, it's just about incorporating some movement and little exercises throughout the day. So
I've never seen one of those.
Yeah, and there are stuff you can do. I use this. So for me, my problem here is kind of the shoulders and the hips. You can put this, in between your knees to work out your inner thighs. You can put it around your knees to work your outer thighs, those love handle areas. So, so it's a real simple little gadget.
Yeah, and that's something anyone, if you're working at a desk all day, you could keep at your desk. It's lightweight, it's easy to transport. or yeah, in the car.
Exactly. So I've got my portable juicer, single serve. I've got my, I've got everything hidden in my little desk. So when I do take my little work breaks, I, try to incorporate some healthy habits. So we're going to go to a commercial break now. And when we come back, we're going to have John Jarich from the Law Office of Wolf and Privado. And we're going to talk about some safety tips for back to school and ride sharing. And that's what we'll talk about. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you for watching. The kids are finally back in school, and it's time to get your Calm Mom essential oil infused socks. Healing Now is a brand of essential oil infused socks with lavender, jojoba, and shea butter to help moisturize, soothe, and relax those tired feet. Please visit our website at healingnow.com. That's HEELINGNOW.com, and let's start to heal those feet.
I am Crunchy because knowledge is power. Crunchy is a revolutionary line of safe and high-performing toxin-free cosmetics that are redefining beauty. You no longer have to sacrifice your health for your beauty or your beauty for your health. Be conscious about what are in your cosmetics and how they affect your body. Contact me at 703-509-2592 or explore at crunchywithanI.com/Liz Sant, LIZSANDT. Again, it's 703-509-2592.
At the law offices of Wolf and Privado, we specialize in car accidents, work accidents, and wrongful death. For a free case evaluation, contact the personal injury trial attorneys at the law offices of Wolf and Privado. 954-633-8270. Never settle for less. 954-633-8270.
Green light means go, so let's get back to the show. Healing Now.
Thank you for joining us. We are here with John Jarich from the Law Office of Wolf and Privado. Hi, John. How are you doing today?
Wonderful. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So John and I have known each other for several years, and we've worked with personal injury clients and
Correct.
things like that. And, he's a great community liaison and participates in a lot of community events and education. And so I thought he'd be a great guest to have on today to talk about ride sharing safety and, just some general back to school safety tips with more cars on the road and buses and just being more aware and safe, to get the school year started right. So, John, you want to tell us a little bit about your firm and what makes you guys different from other firms out there?
Well, our firm is based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Wolf and Privado has been in existence for over 25 years. We have offices in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, West Palm Beach, as well as Fort Myers. Mm-hmm. We have a multitude of attorneys as well as paralegals in our main office in Fort Lauderdale. I am the marketing director for the firm. I've been with the firm for approximately 2 years. I have a lot of experience in marketing and in the general community, both Palm Beach County, Broward, as well as Martin and Dade County. And what I try to bring is I bring a name of our firm out to the general public and how we can assist anybody. When it comes to our specialty, or what we try to focus on, is motor vehicle accidents, as well as slip and fall accidents, as well as work comp and unfortunately medical malpractice as well. So we focus on, those are our four main areas of focus. and we offer assistance. We will commute to anybody. They don't necessarily have to come to the office. So we provide a real service to the community, and we've, like I said, been in existence for over 25 years. We have a lot of clients that unfortunately are in a second or third accidents and feel confident in what we've done, and they come back to our firm again.
Right. And when you provide a good holistic service, people are going to come back to you, and people think, how can law be holistic? Well,
Absolutely.
I think, just looking at your Facebook page and your Instagram, there's a lot of community education about tips and safety and, back to school safety. And, that's kind of what we're discussing today. So, when you do choose a law firm to represent you, you want someone that's going to kind of obviously get to a resolution
Absolutely.
wholly, not just put you through the mill and, work it as fast as they can and, not represent you the best way they can. And what I've noticed about your firm is that, there is something called holistic lawyering, which I didn't realize was a term, and that's why we have you on the show today. But it's basically about resolving the situation and addressing the person wholly,
Yes.
so not
Correct.
just the physical injuries, but obviously, you have a lot of hands-on with the clients, so they're not just, a number, they talk to a paralegal, and you never hear from your lawyer till 2 years later. It's a very, hands-on firm, which I like.
We pride ourselves on our customer service and the fact that whether it's Vince Privado or Richard Privado or myself, we want to have the client feel as comfortable as they can. Any auto accident, any slip and fall, any of those type of injuries, it's a traumatic experience.
Exactly.
And what we want to do is we want to comfort them. So we will go to them and we will try to diffuse the situation and try to ask as many questions as we can. But also we want them to feel comfortable with us.
Right.
We want them to feel like a family. We're a firm solely based on a family environment, and we want them to feel as comfortable as they can, and I think we do a very good job at that.
I agree. I've shared many clients and patients with your firm, and I do notice the attention to detail, and it's not just about this, that, or the other. It's about getting the patients better and healthier, and addressing the situation wholly. So I appreciate that.
It's amazing that you travel to your clients. I mean,
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
huge.
It's, with our process, or our thought process, I should say, is you have children, you have work, you have
An injury.
an injury, the
Right.
daily grind of trying to get through your day, and then to add something as unfortunate as an accident, it's difficult. So we want to, as I use the word diffuse, we want to calm things and make you as comfortable as you can, so you're not having to go out of your way. We're
Right.
trying to eliminate some of those issues, and adding something to one's schedule is terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
So we try to help them by taking a lot of that off their plate, so to speak.
I have been in that situation. I
It's
actually,
unfortunate.
I was, ironically, things just happen the way they're meant to. I was looking for a way out of my nursing job because there was a lot of unethical practices happening at my place of employment. And one day I walked out of my shift and I slipped and fell in the parking lot, and I thought to myself, I need to go fill out an incident report. I slipped in mud, and I did. So it was a workers' comp situation, but they didn't find that I had a hip fracture for 5 weeks.
Wow.
And
That's
I had
unfortunate.
to travel to my workers' comp attorney's office in a wheelchair and on crutches and go up the elevator. And,
With a fractured hip.
yeah, I had to, I could still drive, but I had to travel, and I had so many things on my plate. I had to go to doctor's appointments, and that is a huge service.
And it's an added convenience to have to do all those extra things. For us to drive to your home, or a local place of business or even where you're employed, we don't find that to be an inconvenience. We find that to be a service. It's customer service. That's what we're here for. We're here to service the customer, do everything we can to alleviate the issues that they're having and the added stress.
Right, and a lot of people are traumatized from even getting in driving a car because they've been in an accident.
Of course.
And I've had patients that just even coming to therapy, they're nervous, you know, just from the ride to therapy. So like you said, if going to them, just minimizing, and, you know, we try to work with them and say, okay, if we can try to arrange for some transportation for you, we'll do that, just because there's a lot of anxiety, and that's where even, you know, at my physical therapy practice, again, we're trying to look at the patient wholly, not just, hey, show up at your appointment, or,
Correct.
you know, we can't help you. No, we want to help you get better, because it is, you know, I've been in car accidents myself, and it is a traumatizing time and experience, and you're in pain.
Oh, of course.
So-
And you have to think about you're possibly without your car. You're dealing with the insurance companies. You're dealing with possibly a rental car. You're dealing with medical.
Right.
So it's so many things added on to your already crazy schedule.
Right.
That if you can have an attorney like us take over some of the things and help with some of those things.
Right.
And answer some of those questions, deal with the bombardment of phone calls you're going to receive.
Right.
If we can take that away, just
And
makes
be
your
the
day-
buffer
Yeah, it
between,
makes
yeah.
your day a little bit easier. And now we've got school starting back, so we've got the kids on the schedule, so it's a
Right.
lot. It's
Right.
a lot for anybody.
It is a lot. And so we wanted to talk today about ride-sharing safety. A lot of people are using Uber and Lyft and all these ride-sharing apps, and, you know, a lot of things can happen
Of course.
while you're in these ride-share programs. So Liz actually had an experience this weekend she's going to share, and then we can talk about, you know, things that we can do and prevention and tips to try to avoid, you know, putting yourself in harm's way when you think, okay, I'm making a good choice by maybe not drinking and driving and I'm getting in a ride share, but you still got to be alert for your safety. So,
I
what
don't
happened,
want
Liz?
to give too much detail because I'm not sure where this will go legally. But I'm not going to just accept an email that says, we're sorry this happened to you.
Correct.
Because I want to share my experience to help other women not be in the situation I was in. So I called an Uber Saturday morning. I had a flight at 5:45 from Palm Beach, so I called an Uber at 4:30, and the driver showed up. My first instinct was that he looked very tired, and I said, have you been up all night? And he said, no, I went home. I worked till 10 and I went home. So he picked me up and went the wrong direction. So that was my first red flag. And thank God I know my area that I was in. I can't imagine if I was out of town trying to take an Uber and I didn't know the streets at all. So he went east and north, and he should have gone west and south. And then he proceeded to argue with me that he was going the correct direction and said that he worked at the airport and knew where he was. So the speed limit was 45 down US 1, and he was going 30. From my understanding, Uber drivers are supposed to have their phone mounted so they can use it hands-free with the GPS device.
Correct.
And he had his in his hand, looking down in his lap and swerving off the road.
Which unfortunately takes him away from the concentration of driving, which, as we all know, is a big issue right now with people driving and texting and paying too much attention to their phones.
Device.
And with school starting, that's a huge risk factor
Well,
for
of course,
injuries
'cause
at crosswalks and bus stops.
We
and
have an increased amount of traffic right now with the schools back in session, more cars on the road, more buses on the road, and unfortunately, a lot of people paying too much attention to the phones and not enough attention to the roads and the children that are now on the roads waiting for the bus.
Right. So mounting the phone is a good tip, and
Oh,
what
absolutely.
he should have been doing. So
Yeah, he
he
should.
already was breaking safety tips.
So then he
And-
tried to turn into a dark neighborhood off of US 1, and I started screaming at him that he couldn't go that way. That was not the way to the airport, and that street did not go anywhere. And he argued with me and told me yes it did, and that's the way he needed to go. and I kept screaming at him. So he turned back onto US 1 and was going 30 miles an hour, ranting about philosophy and I don't even know what else. So then I saw the next road where that could lead us to the highway, and I said, you need to turn here, you have to take a right, this will take you to the highway. And knowing in my mind that there was a gas station on this road, mind you, there's not one other car on the road this whole entire time.
This time of the day.
And he went over the bridge on Donald Ross, ran a red light. Then I started screaming at him. I called my mother. So there's actually, you can share your location. I have an iPhone, and there's an option where you can share your location with someone. So I shared my location with my husband, who was at home with, we have children, and I took the Uber because I didn't want him to have to pack up at 4:30 in the morning and take me to the airport.
Which makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, and this was the first time I had taken an Uber before. We have Ubered together when we've been out and we've had some drinks and we didn't feel comfortable driving home. But he's usually the one that arranges that. So I shared my location with him. I was trying to call him. He didn't answer, so I called my mom. Hi, Mom. I just wanted to call you because I'm on my way to the airport. And she was like, oh, okay. So we're chatting, and I said, pull into this gas station now. I need you to turn in here. And he kept trying to turn to McDonald's. And then he drove up on a curb. Then he pulled into the parking space, and I jumped out of the car with my luggage.
Thank God.
But I was preparing to jump out of a moving vehicle if he did not pull into that gas station, because I don't know where I would have ended up.
Right.
But since then, I've learned that there is an option in the Uber app, which you don't think of when your driver is trying to abduct you and running red lights and running off of curbs and
Crazy.
possibly on any synthetic drug possibly imaginable.
Right.
But there's actually a function in the Uber app where you can call for an emergency. It's not really super easy to find. You have to kind of dig down in the app, which in an emergency situation isn't going to be very helpful. So I have shared this on my personal social media for women to be aware, and I've left it public so everyone can see. But someone shared with me that there is an app called Noon Light, and you can actually, I just downloaded it on my phone this morning so I could share with everyone, and there's a button, and you hold your finger or thumb on the button if you are in a possibly dangerous situation, and if the minute you take your finger off, it will alert 911 of your location. So that's something good to have in case of any emergency. If you're in a situation, for instance, I was in a car with this man and I was in the middle of nowhere and I didn't want to call 911 because I didn't know where he would take me. So
There's your location to be sure.
you can also, there's a text function in this app where you can text without talking. So I was in the back seat. I could have just sent a text message, I'm in trouble, I need someone to help me. Also, someone shared with me that there is a women-only ride-sharing service that's trying to launch in this area.
For women only.
For women only, transforming neighborhoods into sisterhoods. I thought that was amazing. And that's GoSafer, SAFR.com. So they're actually looking for people to help launch the business here in this area. If anyone is in need of employment or wants to help out with that, just get in touch with them or contact me and I can give you the person's name who shared this information with me.
It's always good with the technology that we have nowadays to have your location services enabled.
Right.
So you at any point can be located, obviously, but it's also good to share that feature with your loved ones or a friend.
Right.
Anytime you get into a vehicle with a stranger, sort of speak, which is what we do now ultimately.
Right.
And I find it ironic because as kids, our parents pushed us as don't ever get in a car with a stranger.
Exactly.
Well, now Uber and Lyft is a great service, but they are strangers, and at the end of the day, you don't know them except for a car or an ID number, possibly even a name.
I had the guy's name, I had his license plate,
So-
and I looked at the car on my app, the description of the car and the person before I got into the car, but they don't.
Yeah, you can take a
doesn't
normal
mean
picture.
But the more information you can gain at the very beginning of the ride, the the better you are.
And share that information
Obviously,
with as many
share it.
people
And
as you
If
can.
you have somebody that knows you're traveling with or within an Uber or Lyft or whatever ride-sharing service it may be, just share that with the person at the time. Send them a simple text. This is where I am. This is where I'm going. To want to be as safe as you can.
Exactly.
I actually did take a screenshot and I texted it to my husband
Oh,
and my
that's
mother
excellent.
when I was in the car. But a lot of people are using this service for their children now to get them back and forth to activities, to friends' houses.
Correct.
And so that's something that parents really need to be aware of. And I think that someone should start a service for children.
Excellent.
So, John, what is the contact information again for anybody that has any questions for you, or that's been in an Uber and has had an incident or an accident, and they have some questions about their
They're welcome
particular
to
situation?
They're welcome to reach the office directly in Fort Lauderdale,
Okay.
Wolf and Privado Law. They can reach me directly at 561-229-4697, or the main office at 954-522-5800.
Okay, thank you so much, John. And
Thank you both
this
for
is a
having me.
topic that we'll continue to talk about and, just raise awareness for. And again, it's all about the holistic lifestyle, being safe, being healthy, being aware. And I think the key here is sharing your location, sharing the information, and sharing the positivity. So luckily, we have Liz here, and it turned out to be she had her wits about her, and she took the tips to get herself out of the situation safely. So we all just need to be aware of where we are and what we're doing. So thank you so much for joining us. We've run out of time again. We've got a lot to say, but we will see you soon. And thank you for tuning in, and please share this video. Thank you.
Have a healthy week.
Thank you for watching Healing Now. We want to help you create a healthier and holistic lifestyle. To share questions or ideas, please comment, share, and participate in our Facebook Live and on our page, Healing Now.
See you next week.
At the law offices of Wolf and Privado, we specialize in car accidents, work accidents, and wrongful death. For a free case evaluation, contact the personal injury trial attorneys at the law offices of Wolf and Privado. 954-633-8270. Never settle for less. 954-633-8270. At
The human body, so powerful, but yet so fragile. When an automotive accident happens, your body is exposed to many injuries. Injuries that can stop you from living your life. Assessing and documenting these injuries are the first steps to recovery, and only a healthcare provider can offer you that. So after your auto injury, always remember that every detail counts, and making the first step is now easier than ever. Call Action Physical Therapy and find out for yourself how reporting and treating your injuries first can change your life forever. You have rights and you have benefits, even if it was your fault, even if you didn't have insurance. Action Physical Therapy will help you no matter what. So if you are in pain due to an accident, don't wait. Take action. Call Action Physical Therapy today at 561-791-9090. That's 561-791-9090. Or visit us at www.actionphysical.com.